What's the crack? Crypto Dini here. I want to tell you where bull markets come from, what causes these big price run-ups, where do they come from, and I also want to tell you why Bitcoin's price, it just goes up forever. Forever! If you think that sounds good, do your daily exercise. Give the like button a nice strong press. I'll wait till the guys jump in on the live here to get the notification. I'm cruising. So, I'm cruising here now. Am I cruising? I am cruising. We're on cruise control, so we can chat, we can talk, we don't even have to use the feet, we don't even have to use the hands. I'm heading up to Belfast. I'm going up to Ninja Warrior, up to Vertigo with my calisthenics club. We're going up for a day, a bit of crack, a bit of training up here, so looking forward to that. So just cruising up on my own, and I thought I'd explain to you where bull markets come from and why the price of Bitcoin just goes up forever. Guys, remember your daily exercise. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you give the little like button a nice strong press. Don't have me call you out. I can see you. Don't be a lurker, be a liker. Become part of the community. Become part of the Crypto Dini community and grow and learn and prosper together. What else? Guys, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Alright? I go around wearing hoodies and stuff that say Plan B on them. I'm a Bitcoiner. Passionate about Bitcoin. I understand it pretty well. And I do consult with financial advisors. I consult with businesses and I consult with private individuals on how I can leverage this amazing asset and build retirement plans around it and the greater crypto market. But anyway, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take anything I say as financial advice. Please, bit of crack. So, there's a bit to go through here. And the reason for me doing this video, last night I think we had about 60 people at my in-person event, which is awesome. But when I asked them to put their hand, I always ask questions, get the feedback. And when I asked them, did they know and understand Bitcoin's halving event, not many hands went up. Not as many as I would have thought. So it's important that you understand Bitcoin's halving event, because that's how we know the price of Bitcoin goes up forever, and that's how we can predict when these bull markets are coming. Both are pretty good things to be able to understand if you are going to be a crypto investor. And particularly if you're building a Bitcoin retirement plan or a crypto retirement plan. So you can hit the like button if you know the halving event. Let me know in the comments if you understand Bitcoin's halving event, or if you've ever heard of it. And if you haven't, let me know in the comments too. But anyway, the way Bitcoin works is, okay, we have to start at the beginning. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. There can only ever be 21 million. So that makes this asset finite, okay? No one can ever change the fact that there'll only be 21 million Bitcoin. If every person in the world buys an ASIC miner, all 7 billion humans, and we all start burning electricity to mine Bitcoins, it's not going to create any more Bitcoins, and it's not going to create any faster, okay? Imagine if all 7 billion of us decide we're going mining gold, and all us humans, every human on the planet starts mining gold. What happens? Well, we start to produce loads more gold. And what happens to the price of gold? Well, the price of gold is going to plummet. Alright, so that's why Bitcoin is this amazing asset, and it takes a bit to get your head around to understand. So only 21 million. How many Bitcoin is there at the moment? 19 million. 19 million Bitcoin have been mined at the minute. Alright, it's 18 point something, but for ease of maths we'll say 19. And it's going to take another 100 years until all the Bitcoin are mined. And you're like, how is that if we got 19 million in the first 10 years, 12 years of Bitcoin, and it's going to take over 100 million to get the last 2 billion? Well, what's the crack, Dinny? Well, Bitcoin's issuance, the issuance of how Bitcoins are created. Okay, I won't go through mining and all that, so we'll just assume, or you can learn about mining later. But miners create Bitcoin anyway. And the reward for miners, they get Bitcoin, they earn Bitcoin, and they sell the Bitcoin to exchanges, and exchanges sell the Bitcoin to us, and that's how this whole ecosystem works, okay? But every 4 years, the issuance, the miner's reward for securing the network and mining and burning electricity is chopped in half. So in May 2020, hold on there now, I need a drop of water here. In May 2020, Bitcoin miners received 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And they sold them into the market, okay? But then Bitcoin went through a halving event, okay? Its third halving event. And the issuance, the reward of Bitcoins for the miners was chopped in half. So right now, at the minute, since May 2020 and right up till today, Bitcoin miners only receive 6 Bitcoins, 6.25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes, which they can sell into the market, okay? And it's these halving events that cause these price run-ups. One happened in 2016 and we had the 27 bull run. We had one in 2013, there was a bull run then as well. You see, what happens is, when the supply of something is chopped in half, okay? I see my scammers in the comments, please ignore them. But when the supply of something is chopped in half, and the demand remains constant, well, what do you think happens to the price? Price has to go up because there's not as much of it. Basically what starts to happen is exchanges have an inventory of Bitcoin, and then they start to run out of them because they're only getting half the supply from the Bitcoin miners, and then the price has to correct, and it causes this big run up, and everyone starts looking at the price of Bitcoin because the price of the thing, normally you just add a zero to it. If it's 6 grand, it can go to 60 grand or more, but generally you just add a zero to the thing. And then with that, with Bitcoin's price run up, the whole crypto market comes with it, because a lot of retail people come in and they speculate on all sorts of other altcoins. Okay, a lot of the time they get shilled, you know, by marketing teams, and they get filled with hopes and dreams and bullshit, and they'll speculate. So it just brings all this capital from the world into the crypto, and the whole crypto market rises up. But it's the Bitcoin halving cycle that causes these run-ups and causes these bull runs. And 2020 was no different. We had the halving cycle. Generally it takes about 6 to 8 months before you see the supply shock on the exchanges with the inventory that they're holding, and then you start to see a price run up. So we had the halving event in May, and then around October Bitcoin started going whoa bang, you know, went from 8 grand to 10 grand, then it pulled back a little bit, or it went from 6 grand to 10 grand, pulled back a little bit, then it went 10 grand, 14 grand, pulled back, you know, and it went on this massive big run up. And we're somewhere in the middle of that right now. We could be going higher, we could be going lower, who knows? I don't try to predict the markets. I don't think you need to. Well, I know you don't need to, because time in the market is much more powerful than trying to time a market. So that's where these bull runs come from. So how can I predict that the price of Bitcoin has no top? What's the value of the Mona Lisa? So the Mona Lisa is an asset that's finite, because your man who painted it is dead. A lot of people seem to like it. So what's the value of the Mona Lisa? Infinity. It has no value, okay, because it's finite. No one can create another one that's only one of a kind. Bitcoin is sort of similar to that, okay, because there's a finite supply, only 21 million, and they're being measured. Bitcoin is being priced against, you know, we exchange euros, fiat currencies, to buy them, but so you're exchanging fiat currencies which aren't scarce, because they can just print them and print them and print them and print them, and next year there'll be more euros in existence than there is today. So all the euros we hold in our bank will buy us less stuff, and we'll just be like, Jesus, the price of everything's going up, let's protest about diesel prices, let's protest about X, Y and Z. But what's driving this price of inflation is money printing. That's what drives it, and people just see the price of the goods or services going up. Okay, so if at the minute the 6 Bitcoin's great, guys, hit the like button now if you enjoy this content, and make sure you throw a comment in if you're learning. If at the minute the 6 Bitcoin's great every 10 minutes, and the whole world of 7 billion people have to absorb those 6 Bitcoins every 10 minutes, and in 2024 that's going to get chopped in half, so there's 3 Bitcoins created every 10 minutes. It's pretty impressive. Only 3, and a world of 7 billion people have to argue over those 3 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. What do you think the price of it happens to the price of Bitcoin? And in 2028, when there's 1 Bitcoin created every 10 minutes, what do you think happens to the price of Bitcoin then? And in 2032, when there's half a Bitcoin created every 10 minutes, and there's a world of 7 billion people arguing over that 0.5 of Bitcoin, what do you think happens to the price of Bitcoin? And in 2036, when there's 0.25 of a Bitcoin, you get the point. And it goes on like this. So the asset just gets scarcer and scarcer and scarcer. So any Bitcoin that you can get your hands on right now today, you have an amazing opportunity, because you can front run all the institutions, you can front run the sovereigns, you can front run the hedge funds, you can front run you're basically front running big money, because big money has to wait on spot ETFs, and big money has to wait on absolute regulations to change so they can allocate, because of gap accounting. They've gap accounting, so it screws them up to invest into crypto. So at the minute they're like, sort that out, we need to get into this asset, retailer in, we're not in. And this is basically what we're seeing. Is I shared a thing on my Instagram story. Guys, if you're not on Crypto Athenia on Instagram, follow me and get some great tips. But Real Pal is a billionaire. He's a hedge fund manager, and he's telling you like it is. Right now there's a new asset class being created. Most asset classes are around 200 trillion. That's the way they go. In the last 100 years we haven't seen a new asset class come about. So this is an amazing time in history where we're living through this creation of a new asset class. And the asset class right now is around 2 trillion. In the next decade it's likely to get to 200 trillion. Alright, so the upside of this thing, people are not giving it the respect that it deserves. The asset class is likely to go to 200 trillion in the next decade. Alright? And we now have all other asset classes. Companies, corporations were the ones who built them and owned the value. But this asset class is built on tokens. It's built on bearer asset tokens like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, where you can own part of the network. You can own part of the future asset class. That's never happened before in history. That's why it's a unique time in history. For the plebs, I'm a pleb, okay, to own the value of future asset class. Really, really amazing stuff. I urge you, I encourage you, if you value your freedom, your time and having the crack, go down the rabbit hole. Invest in your education, invest time into education, or invest money into education. Learn from good people. Plug, do my bootcamp. And that's the reason why Bitcoin's price is now top, because the asset just gets scarcer and scarcer and scarcer. And it's been priced against fiat currencies. And every 4 years the thing gets more scarce. And if the demand was just remaining constant, we'd say, right, yeah, Jesus, the price is going to explode. But the demand isn't remaining constant. The demand for Bitcoin and crypto is in hockey stick parabolic growth. The internet grew at 60% a year, and we know that we reached pretty much worldwide saturation in a decade. Okay? Crypto adoption is grown at 120%. It's twice the adoption rate of the internet. Okay? So demand isn't constant. Demand is going up. Cancel that phone call. Demand is going up. There's 3 million Bitcoin wallet addresses opening per week. Do the maths. Every week, 3 million, 3 million, 3 million, 3 million, 3 million. In 6 months, will it be 3.5 million? Highly likely. In a year, will it be 5 million? Highly likely. Every week, bam, 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 bam. All getting their Bitcoin. All going to be arguing over one Bitcoin in 8 years' time. Every 10 minutes. All of us arguing over one Bitcoin. The price of this collateral has no top. And those who dollar cost average into the asset, remember, not financial advice, but dollar cost averaging into the asset, not trying to time the market, not looking for the next, when it's going to pull back, just choosing to go, okay, I've got some disposable income here. Or, you can do my risk-free pension plan, as I taught to people last night, just give up stuff that's bad for you, and any risk-free capital to invest into crypto, okay? But those that get their share of this future collateral, this store of value, this pristine asset, okay, you're getting it now at such a discount, because in a decade the thing is going to be unaffordable, really unaffordable. But anyone who has their allocation, you know, your purchasing power is going to increase exponentially, as everybody who has dollar cost average into Bitcoin, and being patient. And even if you buy at the very peak of the market, you just have to be patient, because the thing goes in cycles. It goes up and it goes down, up and down, and daily volatility is scary. And this is why being a cryptocurrency investor takes skill and practice and education, because it's not like normal investing. You've got to be able to ride the volatility, accept the volatility, and not try to time the market, and not try to sell the tops, because you'll get it wrong. 90% of people who try that get it wrong. 9 out of 10. There's a gun, there's 9 bullets, 1 empty chamber. Have a go! Click! Okay, you survived. Have another go. You know, don't trade. You lose all your money trading. But guys, I hope you had some good value. I'm cruising now. I'm only doing like 90 kilometers an hour. Got to kick this thing back a gear, get up to Belfast, have the crack today. Invest in your education, invest your time into your education, and you'll be heavily rewarded. You're in the emergence of an asset class. It's such early days. It's a 2 trillion asset class. Most asset classes are valued around 200 trillion. That's where we likely go. Exciting times ahead. Congratulations if you're here. You're early. Don't worry if your friends and family are doubting you and telling you it's a terrible thing. That's why you're early. Have an awesome day, guys. Thanks for being here. Dinny out. Don't fall for scammers. There is no free money or free Bitcoin. Dinny out.